You're listening to the Common Fan Podcast, a Husker football podcast for the common fan, by the common fan.
Welcome back to the Common Fan Podcast. I am TJ Burkle, as always, alongside Matty Owens Sr. and Geoff in Lincoln. Your Nebraska Cornhuskers are 5-1 after winning an absolutely wild one at Maryland. The Huskers come out on top, 34-31. They battle back from being down late in the fourth quarter. An unbelievable game. We're going to talk about it all. Common fans, but just what an incredible win. The Huskers are 5-1, second year in a row. Let's see where they go from here. But dang it feels good to be 5-1. Woo! Hey, what's more Nebraskan than football and beef? Oak Barn Beef is a family-owned farm right here in Nebraska, shipping premium dry-aged beef straight to your doorstep and all doorsteps nationwide. Whether you're stocking the freezer, grilling for game day, or looking for a gift that actually impresses, Oak Barn Beef delivers. Check them out at oakbarnbeef.com and taste the difference, of Nebraska-raised dry-aged beef. You know what else is Nebraskan, guys? Beating Maryland. That's what
that is Nebraskan as it gets.
Holy smokes, guys. The Huskers have 2 10-point leads at different points in the game and then suddenly find themselves down 7 late in the game, put together back-to-back drives at the end, the likes of which we haven't seen in way too long. And I'll be honest with you, when they went all the way down the field, the second to last drive, and only got a field goal to show for it, I was like, I don't know.
There it goes.
Hope they get the ball back. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because then they're still down 4. It's like, well,
still down 4.
This is 2 weeks in a row where I've said the exact same thing, where when we got down, Nebraska teams of old would have folded in 2 seconds. So we definitely got a different team on our hands in that respect. And I think Rule even said it after the game. He's like, you can put the close game narrative away now. That's over with. And it's true. I think that monkey is truly off our back, which is, God, it's refreshing to see.
Yeah. When we went down after the pick 6, I turned to my son and my wife and I said, we were up 10 points, 24-14. They've scored 17 unanswered. This could be an all-time pants crapping, is what I said, word for word. An all-time pants crapping.
It was close.
Well, I mean, they were down to Michigan State until about like a minute left in the third quarter. I'm trying to remember. Was it into the fourth quarter? Maybe it was into the fourth quarter. And then they're down to Maryland until less than 2 minutes left in the game.
Wow.
And it's just, we just have, let me say this, 2 things that we haven't seen nearly enough of in the last 10 years. One, the offense executing a 2-minute drill or a 4-minute drill or whatever, 4-minute, whatever you want to call it, when either behind with a chance to take the lead or when tied or whatever. I mean, the last time it happened, I saw on Twitter, was 2017, and that was Tanner Lee against Purdue in a really ugly game. Yeah. Against a bad Purdue team that we came back and beat. I think it was like 25-24 in that game or something. That was a weird, crazy season. That was Mitch's tweet, because then that was Riley's last season. They went 4-8. It didn't matter, whatever. This feels very different. The fact that we were able to do that, and we were able. I mean, we'll talk all about it. I don't want to go there yet, but those last 2 drives, the number of incredible plays that multiple guys made, were just incredible, absolutely incredible.
Dude,
and then the other thing we haven't seen nearly enough of in recent years is, defense being on the field. We had just taken the lead. Maryland had plenty of time to get into field goal range. And in fact, with less than a minute left, they hit that. I mean, it wasn't a huge pass, but it was 15 or 20 yards to get to about the 40-ish, a little past the 40. And I was like, oh no. Like, they had plenty of time. They had plenty of time at that point to get into field goal range. And we were helped out by the intentional grounding call. But I attribute that partially to John Butler's, he had nowhere to go with it. And the young quarterback didn't know what to do, got intentional grounding, and then that was a dime that he threw on third down, was it? To make it fourth and 4, and then we bowed up and made the
we
stop.
did.
So just a thoroughly enjoyable game. Incredible win for the Huskers. I got to tell you, you guys know this, but I got to tell the Common Fan listeners. So, as most Common Fan listeners know, I live in Bend, Oregon. A counterpart of mine from another company reached out a couple months ago and said, "Hey, do you want to come join me at the Oregon State game on October 11th? They're playing Wake Forest." And I thought that'd be fun. I love college football. I've never been to an Oregon State game. I've been to an Oregon game, but not an Oregon State game. So that'd be fun. And I was able to bring Hudson, my almost 8-year-old, and so that was super fun. And there was a little bit of a work component, a little bit of schmoozing that had to be done. As you guys know, I'm in the relationship business, but mostly I was able to.
We all are, TJ. We all are.
That's right. Mostly, I was able just to it was an enjoyable experience. So when I accepted, I think we had the time for the Oregon State game, which was 12:30 Pacific, and I was like, "There's just no way with Nebraska being at Maryland, 3-hour time difference. What are the odds? Nebraska?
Yeah, no way."
And I was like, I look forward to. I was guessing it would be an 11 a.m. Central kick, which would have been perfect. That would have been 9 a.m.
Maryland would have been,
Maryland, yeah. That's kind of what I was thinking, because I didn't think they would give us a night game before we had to travel again next weekend. And I don't know why. I just thought it would be an early game to allow for Nebraska to get back home or whatever. And of course, kickoff was at exactly the same time. So. But I was able to watch pretty much the whole first half on my phone. And it actually helped to have Hudson there, because I could just sit next to him and, and then we would kind of watch the Nebraska game together and the Oregon State game in front of us, of course. And then he wanted to go about midway through the third quarter. So we're walking to the car. I'm still watching on my phone for Dylan's pick six. And I'm like, oh, come on. Anyway, and so then by the time we get to the car, and you guys know how it goes at a game, everything takes forever. We get to the car, and it was toward almost end of third quarter. And I was able to pull up on my phone the Nebraska Sports Network and listen to Kyle Crooks and Damon Benning the whole rest of the way. So I was able to listen to the fourth quarter. So to your point, Jeff, I think, or you asked me this, I think, before we were recording maybe, but I'm like clapping in the car, talking, and then Hudson was like, "Dad?" And I was like, "Yeah, buddy, sorry, am I clapping too loud?" This was right before they scored the touchdown to take the lead. This is when they were driving the second time. He's like, "No, the clapping is fine. Could you please just not yell when they win?" The poor boy knows me very well.
So I want to hear more. I want to know more about this, because knowing that how manic you are when you are able to actually watch the game.
Yeah.
Is there even more? What is the feeling like going through TJ Burkle's head when, you're walking to the car, meanwhile, the Husker action's going on, or you're getting in the car and you're trying to dial it up on the radio? Is there a little bit more anxiousness? Is there
urgency?
Urgency. What do we feel?
Why the hell won't this thing work?
What's going on? What's going on in that beautiful brain of yours, General?
You guys are wonderful. Thank you. It's unsettling. I would much prefer. Basically, what I've learned about myself is I want to watch Nebraska football, and I want to watch it alone. I want to sit and watch it, and I don't even want to be with friends or family. I just want to be able to watch the game. And so I was able to keep it together while in the because we were in a suite. It was lovely.
Oh,
I was able to keep
nice.
it together during the Oregon State game, while watching on my phone, because you had to be a professional and a mature adult. In the car, there was a lot of pounding on the ceiling of the truck, and clapping, a lot of clapping. And then poor Hudson, I guess I was alarming him or something, because he had to ask me not to scream when they won. And it's also funny. Kyle Crooks and Damon Benning, I'm glad I got the chance to listen to. They're both great, and I need to start doing that more. I know a lot of people set that audio while they're watching the game on TV, and I need to probably do that. But it was it's been so long since I listened to a game on the radio, and even the Dane Key touchdown, you're like in your head, you're like the thing
picturing what it looks like.
You're going to the worst case too. It's like, okay, he said it was a one-handed catch. He said it was a touchdown. Are there any flags? Are we sure it's a touchdown?
Are they
and
reviewing
then,
it?
Yeah. And then on the 4th and 4 play, when Malik Washington threw it a little bit behind the guy for the incompletion to seal the win, again, he did a good job of describing what happened, but it was like, all right, are we sure it was incomplete?
Are they going to throw a PI flag?
Yeah, right. Are there any flags? Are there anything else I'm missing?
Yeah.
And so it's like a little bit of a like delayed in the moment on TV. You're able to like jump up and down and like whatever. And here it was like, we won, right? We really won. Did we really win?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was. And then I was either amongst other humans and other adults, or I was driving. Like I was driving my son home.
The reactions are limited when you're in those situations.
2.5 hours back to Bend, and so, I had to keep it together a little bit. But when Dylan threw that pick six, I was starting to like give myself talk therapy. I don't know about you guys. I was like, well, we said on the pod, it'd be nice to win the next 2, but at the very least, you got to win 1 out of 2. So we still have Minnesota. We still have a chance. Exactly. And I mean, you guys know here we got to get to corn cobs, but I mean, every Husker fan knows those last 2 drives, we have not seen that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right.
In 10, it's been 10 years. We didn't see it at all in the Frost era, and we didn't see it for 2 years in the Rule era, and we didn't see it much in the Riley era.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's the difference, like from last week to, me saying, why can't we just be happy with a conference win where we battled back and people being a little unhappy. This week seems very, very different, at least on like social media. Everyone's excited that we haven't, because we haven't done that.
Yeah,
it's a different, it's just win and it was ugly. But that's something we haven't seen, like you said. Like it's been so long since we're like, okay, it doesn't look too good here. Yeah, and our guys kept battling and they got it done.
Yeah.
Right.
I will say, as you being a host of a Husker podcast, I would think that you would find time to watch the game live, TJ. I'm a little bit disappointed in that respect. Not gonna lie.
I just told you how despite being at a work thing,
I understand. I heard what you said. I'm still just a little disappointed as the host of this program. I figured you would have made time. That's all. Not a big deal.
I did make time. I watched the game in real time.
Even though I was watching the game, Jeff, at another game.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I watched it from start to finish on my couch. I saw everything. So,
Jeff, I think
as the host of a Husker podcast, that's all.
I think real common fans know that you don't have a lot of ground to stand on. You and your Notre Dame, you and your Notre Dame hoodies that you wear while we record our podcast, and occasionally not knowing players' names. Don't make me go there, Jeff. Don't make me go there. All right, one more thing I'll say, guys. Maryland's 4-2. We'll look at their schedule. We'll look at the rest of their schedule here in a minute. I don't know how good they are, but that team's better than Michigan State.
Yeah,
I think Malik Washington is better than Aiden Giles. He's a better thrower at least than Bryce Underwood.
Yeah, he's a better.
I mean, that's a pretty good test, and that was on the road. And that was the other thing I started thinking. At Cincinnati wasn't really. I mean, it was on the road, but it was basically 66,000 Husker fans.
Yeah, neutral site.
That was the first, although there were a lot of Husker fans there yesterday too. But that was like a true road game. There are a lot of reasons where, and we'll get into this too. Celebrate the W, right? Celebrate the W, right?
Definitely.
All right. The Corn Cobs are brought to you by the Nebraska Farm Bureau, the largest agricultural organization in the state with more than 56,000 members. For over a century, Farm Bureau has supported Nebraska's farm and ranch families, but their impact stretches far beyond the field. They grow leaders, amplify voices at the Capitol, and strengthen communities across our state. Agriculture is the backbone of Nebraska. When it thrives, we all thrive. Join Nebraska Farm Bureau today at nefb.org. That's nefb.org. Corn Cobs, Matty-O.
I got to go with a guy that's back-to-back weeks has made big plays. Okay, and I'm talking about Nyziah Hunter. The guy is a freak.
Hollywood.
Like he is a total stud. Like I came into this season thinking he's gonna be pretty good. He's better than way better than I thought he was gonna be. Like game-changing plays. We have multiple guys in the whiteout room that can make game-changing plays. That's so refreshing to see. That took the screen, great blocking by Evans again on the screen, Elijah Pritchett downfield blocking, and then the great catch to kind of sort of mossed the DB, his second TD. Great catch. Nyziah Hunter is balling out, and he absolutely deserves a corn cob.
Yeah, he had two touchdowns yesterday, 125 yards. He's up to 415 yards on the season, averaging 18.9 yards a catch. And he's got 4 touchdowns. I think guys, and Dane Key made several key catches for Dane Key.
He was
yesterday, including the go-ahead touchdown. And Key is solid, and I think he's what we needed and wanted. What's exciting about Hunter is he's got 2 more years after this.
Yes.
And I feel like he's kind of maybe got a higher ceiling, with all due respect to Dane Key. He's maybe got a higher ceiling, and okay, maybe it took a few games to kind of figure it out, but he can play.
I think it's the run after catch thing, like where I think he's got a little bit more juice than, and I don't know, it's because Dane Key is awesome. Like, he's Mr. Automatic. He gets open, he makes the catch, and it makes it look so smooth. But Hunter's got this little extra gear. Like, he just looks like he does not want to go down unless he's in the end zone. And I think it's awesome.
Well, that first touchdown, I mean, I thought he was surely going to get pushed out of bounds or get drugged down there, and somehow he touched.
Or someone's going to catch him. Like,
yes.
Turned the freaking gas on and went tight-roped it down the sideline. I didn't think he was going to score there.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to get caught for like the last 20 yards.
Yeah.
Right? It was crazy.
Yep.
All right, Geoff, what do you got?
Speaking of almost getting caught, what about like Emmett Johnson, dude? Our boy Husker Adam on Twitter actually sent us a message last night during the game saying Emmett Johnson gets the corn cob. I don't even think he wants the corn cob. We're just giving him one this week. I kind of agree with him in that regard, that Emmett Johnson played out of his ass yesterday. I mean, just crazy. Yeah, he may not have scored a touchdown, but literally he dominated the rest of that game in any way that you look at. I mean, I'd be curious, just like yards after contact. Like, that dude was breaking tackles. He was juking the hell out of people. There was a run towards the end there, I can't remember, where he was coming down towards the end zone, and I think he made 5 or 6 guys miss. I'm not even exaggerating. All in one play. It was absolutely out of control. It was a circus watching him run yesterday. The dude is a freak. Emmett Johnson, Emmett Brown, 88 miles per hour, 1.21 gigawatts. The dude is incredible. Feed that dude. And TJ, you've talked about in the past, like, I felt we had that confidence and that swagger last night where we know we're going to run the ball. You know we're going to run the ball, and we're going to do it anyway, and we're going to jam it down your freaking throat. And that's exactly what was happening yesterday. It was awesome to see. Emmett, you get my corn cob, my dude.
It was fantastic.
That long run was so sweet.
Yeah.
Yes. Sam McEwen tweeted at one point, I don't know what, it was clearly during the game, I don't know at what point, Emmett Johnson might just drag this team to a win. An incredible Amir-like performance.
It really was.
And it really was. He had the 50-ish yard run on the second to last drive, which basically helped make that drive. He had 176 rushing yards total on 21 carries. So here's what's interesting, guys. You take away that 50-yard run, he still averaged over 6 yards a carry, and that's what felt. And hats off to the offensive line too. That's what felt different yesterday. Was it? Sometimes his numbers are like 5-6 yards a carry, but he had a couple 20-30 yard runs in there, and everything else was a 2 and 3 and 4 yard slog. Yeah. I felt like every time he got the ball, he was getting 5 or 6 yards.
Yeah.
4 to 6 yards, right? I mean, it felt like we could run the ball at will on those guys. I wish we would have done it a little bit more, but hard to complain.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, 194 rushing yards as a team is, I'm good with that. Like, it's, you go 260 passing, 194 rushing. That's a pretty good day at the office for the offense.
Well, and Isaiah Mosey had 5 carries for 24 yards, but I don't know. I felt like they were giving it to him more, actually. But I thought, like, maybe he's emerging as the go-to number 2 guy. I mean, at the start of the year, that they had moved him to running back, but it felt like they were still just throwing him the ball, basically. Now they're legitimately handing it off to him, and he seems to be responding. I thought he looked pretty good by the eye test yesterday when I was watching, Jeff.
No, when you were watching live on television from your home.
On my phone.
He seemed to do better kind of burrowing down and getting yards in between the tackles. I actually even said that to Matty Jr. watching the game yesterday. I'm like, he's running a little bit harder and getting a little bit lower in between tackles and getting some yards where, the first few carries he had this season, it's kind of like, okay, he's going to have to kind of figure out how to run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it's encouraging because like you said, Matt, like it's not every wide receiver can do that. You can be fast and you can be athletic, but not every wide receiver can make that transition. So that's super encouraging for a true freshman.
I think it helps too with his first play was like a tone setter. He had a big run just to start off the game to get a first down on the first play. And sometimes with college athletes like that, mentally, you just need to get some confidence right off the bat. And I think that would set the tone for the game right from the start.
Talk about Emmett.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to give mine to a guy we haven't talked a lot about this year, Marquez Watson-Trent. Okay. Transfer from Georgia Southern and played a lot of football, and including for Georgia Southern when they beat Nebraska in Scott Frost's last game. We've talked about that.
Yes.
And I mean, part of this is because Javen Wright was all over the field again. Vincent Shavers was all over the field again. I think several defense, Dasan McCullough had some big impact plays. It's great to see Watson-Trent kind of breaking out. I think he was injured and didn't play at all last game, but also I think he was kind of expected to be a pretty regular contributor. Maybe we haven't seen him as much so far this year. And so I'm going to give it to Watson-Trent. I want to say this about the defense this year. Watson-Trent had 6 total tackles. I was second on the team in tackles, according to this thing. One thing I want to say about the defense, guys, is I think they played better. Like, it was not their most dominant. They were not dominant, right?
No, I don't know.
But I think they played looking back, I think they played better than maybe we originally thought. They only gave up 7 points in the second half. Because one of those scores was the pick 6 that Dylan threw. It's frustrating that we had 2 10-point leads.
Erased both of those
and relinquished them both. But both of those were also set up by both of those were set up by picks.
Yeah.
And so that doesn't help. And I just think the more I watch this team, the more I think we have a lot to be excited about for this defense. There's so many young guys all over the field.
Yeah.
Keona Davis, Riley Van Poppel, Cade Perzak, whatever we call it. Petrak. Several of the defensive backs, Shavers. I think McCullough's got another year even. I mean, there's a ton of young guys that, hopefully we hang on to all of them, and whatever we need in the offseason, if we got to supplement with maybe one more big body guy on the defensive line or a linebacker, whatever it might be, there's a ton of young guys getting so much valuable experience, and they are getting better and better. I think John Butler's a heck of a defensive coordinator. And I genuinely believe, he there are times when it's like, wow, he dialed up the perfect thing there, it's not always perfect, but that unit is getting better. I think we're in good hands with John Butler.
I think so too. I would, if I'm going to nitpick away. I would like to see them get
spoiled brat.
I would like to see them get a little more pressure with just 4. When we really needed it, there's a couple times where it's like, okay, we're not blitzing anybody, which is fine. Because I think that's kind of how our defense plays. Maryland, and I watched some of Maryland, Washington, and they did it again yesterday. They don't throw down the field a ton. It's more short throws and then making the defense tackle. And Washington tackled and won the game because they tackled well and got the ball back. And we kind of did the same thing. I'm really pleased with our tackling, because when that leaky tackling, and we saw it against Michigan, there's a couple, those long runs where one guy could have had him, the other guy could have had him, he's gone. But when teams throw underneath, you come up and tackle, you got a pretty good shot if they're not going to throw the ball down the field.
Excellent.
So, also, General McCullough is a senior. He is in his last year.
All right. I don't know why I thought he had
his third school.
Yeah. I'll make sure and DM the defensive linemen and tell them the mistakes that they're making for you.
No, we're not
I'll
doing
make
that,
sure
Jack. We don't do that. We can just say, "Hey, I'd like to see that," and it's not a knock on them. And,
We've
they're
made clear.
young. They're
I'll let
young.
them know.
Don't DM
I'll let
players.
them know.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
No, I'm with you, Matty O, and I guess I would say agree with you, but say something slightly different. I just would love to see us and I feel like they've done they did it pretty well against Michigan State. They just didn't really get to the quarterback at all yesterday. It felt like I think we had 1 sack. I would love to see us get there. I don't care if we're rushing 7. Like I don't care whether it's 4 or 5, 6. I just it's been a thing for a long time for Nebraska in the Big Ten. I feel like, and it just feels like it's still inconsistent at getting to the quarterback.
Yeah,
But,
and some of it is that they're getting rid of the ball quick. Like when it's a 3-step drop, it's hard for somebody to get to the quarterback. It just is.
Yeah.
So that's some of it too. But I just again nitpicking.
Yep. Let's talk through this game a little bit, guys. We already have to some extent, and we don't need to go play by play, but I want to talk through some of the high points. And then I want to, if we have time at the end, I want to look around the Big Ten a little bit, guys.
Oh,
yeah.
So we mentioned Nebraska went up 10-0. So the first 2 drives, both teams turn it over on downs. Then we had the Nyziah Hunter screen pass that he took to the house, give us a 7-0 lead. Then Maryland went 3 and out. Then the Huskers went down and kicked a field goal. That was the nonsense. Wasn't that field goal was the nonsense offensive pass interference call.
Terrible call.
Yeah.
Like Emmett didn't even know that guy was there. He barely had time to turn his head and see him.
I just thought of something real quick. I want a question for both of you because I know how I was feeling. What was your feeling when we went for it on our initial drive on 4th down and we didn't get it? When we had the option to take a field goal there. I thought in my head, I'm like, we're doing this again. We're doing this again.
I was trying to think of that. Where were we at on the field?
We were,
how long of a field goal would that have been?
I don't know.
We were at the Maryland 31.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were down there.
I mean, that's 40.
I was frustrated. I'm not going to lie to you. Yeah.
I didn't mind it on that one because it did, like Michigan, it felt like you had to hold your breath because it was Michigan.
Yep.
And you should take whatever points you could get. I felt really strongly they should have kicked the field goal on that opening drive against Michigan. This one, as it turned out, we were able to move the ball better against these guys. We're on the road. Like that's an early chance, I think, to take the crowd out of it a little bit. I didn't mind it. It's annoying that we didn't get it, but I didn't mind it.
You know what I didn't like? Emmett's getting chunks of yards on 1st down, 2nd down. As soon as it's like 3rd and 2 or 4th and 1, it's like, why can't we get 2 or 3 yards? Yeah. The guy runs for 6, 7, 8 yards a pop, and then as soon as it's 3rd and 2, or in that situation 4th and 2, it's like
all of a
sudden Maryland's D turns into the 85 Bears, or we can't block. Like what is that? The guy goes for 176, but we need 2 yards and we can't get it. That's frustrating. I'm sorry.
Frustrating.
Yeah. No, was that only once we went for it on 4th down and didn't get it? I guess it was, right? I think
we were 0 for 1.
I guess it was okay. I thought it was later in the game, but that one was frustrating too because, they knew what we were gonna do, and we even brought in an extra lineman, but I can't remember who it was. Like somebody just missed that it was like a cornerback who came in and made the tackle.
Yeah,
they loaded up the box. Obviously, the other thing
that was later. I think that was 3rd. I think that was a throw.
Maybe that's what it was, Matty. And then we punted after that. That's a good because that felt later in the game. That's what I was thinking. So I would love to see us. Was it the 97 Big 12 championship game against Texas?
Bringing up the 90s again.
Let it go, man.
No. Well, let's see. No, we won it. 98. It was one of the years we didn't win it. It was against Texas. Wasn't there a quarterback named James Brown?
96.
96. And they went for it on 4th and 1. And everybody loaded up the box bootleg. And he lofted up. I'd love to see us do that at some point.
And do a little bit of that and a little of that action.
If it didn't work, then we'd all go nuts and say, run the ball.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right. So we go up 10-0, even though that was a garbage call. You're feeling pretty good at 10-0. And then Maryland puts together an 8-play, 75-yard drive for a touchdown. It's still 10-7, and you're kind of thinking, no, they were bound to do that eventually.
Yeah.
And then came Dylan's first interception.
Mm-hmm.
And that was after only one play, 2-yard Mosey, 2-yard run, and then he threw a pick.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to remember that first one. That first one was like it was like a stop route, and the guy just turned around. It felt like Dylan held it a beat too long, like he had him sooner.
Yeah.
And then he threw it, and it was picked off. And so then Maryland goes down and scores again to go up 14-10.
Mm-hmm.
And they only had to go. Wait, could this be right? They only have to go 10 yards. No. Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at those. They had to go 33 yards, but still gave them a short field. They took advantage of it. They went down and scored. So at this point, it's like frustrating, but it felt like we had been moving the ball fine. Like at this point, I don't think anyone's panicked.
Right.
And then the man himself, Kenneth Williams, almost took a house call.
Yep.
Kickoff return for 85 yards to the Maryland 10. Boys, the kickoff return game has entered the chat.
It has. Isn't it funny that like during our whole Corn Cob segment, even the recap of the game so far, we haven't even had to even mention special teams. It's becoming so standard for us now that we don't even really, it's not at the top of our list to talk about anymore. Like they're incredible. Thank God for Mike Eckler. Thank God for Mike
Eckler.
Yeah.
I made a joke about building a statue. I'm starting to really consider it now. Like I'll build one myself. And
hats off. I'd love to see that, Jeff. Hats off to Williams because he got awarded a scholarship after the game.
Yes, that was super cool.
Find the video it's on the official Husker Twitter account. Rule said something, and then he brought in athletic director Troy Dannon, who said, "You're not on scholarship, are you?" And he's like, "No, sir." And then Dan was like, "You are now." And the team goes nuts. I mean, it was so awesome.
That's awesome. That is cool.
But what is he, a Lincoln High kid, Matteo?
Lincoln High, yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
Track guy. Rule is just like one of Rule's track guys. Like he's like, oh, this guy's super fast. Like let's get him on the football team.
Bring him in.
I think if he had that kid caught up to him, I think if he had like tried to like, I don't know if you can hear somebody behind you or not, like swerve a little bit, I think he could have gotten into the end zone. Didn't matter. We scored a couple plays later. That was a huge shift in momentum after going down 14-10.
Yep.
I was a little bit nervous. I was like, okay, the defense has been on the field a lot. Now they're going to go right back on the field, but you're never going to argue with something like that.
Right.
And then, no, I'm not going to nitpick there.
Don't do it.
And then we force a 3 and out. So like the defense bowed up, we get the ball back, and hold on, what happened? It's just okay. We must have had great field position. I'm trying to remember this one, but 19-yard pass to Dane Key, 15-yard Emmett run, 12-yard touchdown pass to Nyziah Hunter. So we kind of went right down and took care of business, had great field position to start. Forced another punt. So at this point, guys, we're getting near the end of the first half, and it's really feeling like we're up by 10. We just forced 2 3 and outs. It's like, okay, kind of like how I felt at a certain point. Kind of like how I felt at a certain point against Michigan State. We're just going to kind of take off here and know, like we're not going to let them back into the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dylan's second pick shortly before, here's what's frustrating to me. And I know like with analytics and like thinking has evolved on this stuff. Nebraska got the ball with a little over 4 minutes to go. And we were at our own 29-yard line. So it's not like there's 2 minutes to go. Like over 4 minutes, you're definitely thinking you have time to go get points, and you should do that.
Yeah.
My old school brain says, at the very least, do no harm, hold the ball. Like worst case scenario, don't give them the ball back. And certainly never want to throw a pick. But like, let's go down and get points, or at least like bleed some clock. I think the new thinking is like, screw that. If we have a chance to go get points, we're going to go get points, and analytics, and I feel like, so I don't want to like discount that.
You don't want to poo-poo that.
Yeah. Right.
Poo-poo.
But and that one started too with Maryland's unsportsmanlike conduct. They had several unsportsmanlike conducts in the first half. That was another reason.
That was annoying, man.
It was frustrating. We were only up by 7 because it felt like they kept just giving us stuff very stupidly.
Yeah.
And Loxley was clearly pissed on the sideline. And then and that one cheap shot on Dylan was really
That
frustrating.
pissed me off.
Yeah.
I usually don't get
Yeah.
mad about that type of stuff. I'm like,
That was on the
football.
pick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
And
So I
they-
guess you could argue he was, blocking or whatever.
Yeah, right. That's what
Was
they were trying to
he-
say.
Was
still
he
got a
trying?
flag.
Was he trying to throw that away?
He said afterward he was trying to throw it away because watching on TV, it was like there's 2 Maryland guys and no Nebraska guys there. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one was just frustrating because it was like, what are we doing?
Well,
And I know
ended up being huge. Like,
yeah,
right. And maybe you're getting there, but like they went down and
Right.
got 3 points.
they went down and got 3 points. It kind of reset the whole feeling. Again, if it's 24-14 at half and we held the ball and they didn't get another chance, or if we went down and even got another field goal or a touchdown, then they're really demoralized. Instead, we give them the ball back. They go down and they make it a 1-score game.
Yeah. And then they get the ball back.
And then they get the
Half
ball to
that.
start the half.
To start the half. Yeah.
So then I will say, guys, I don't know. Are we starting to feel when things are going poorly, like, okay, we're not out of this though?
I feel that way. It's never over. I'll tell you that much right now.
Yeah.
And I haven't felt that way in a while. Like I
And
said,
it's weird. It's weird because like Dylan kind of put us in that position with those picks.
Yep.
But it's also like he's got enough moxie and enough confidence to still go ahead and get the job done and bring us back and complete some big throws. That's I can't like stress enough like how nice it is to have a guy that even having one of his worst games since he's been here,
right,
still can go get us a win.
the dude
we haven't really had a dude be able to like flip that switch and do that.
he can compartmentalize and just put that behind him. It's kind of like the yips in golf. Like you've got to have a certain pretty good mindset. Like if you have a bad hole in golf, that sticks with people for a while. With this, it's like he can put that stuff behind him the second he has an issue. He throws a pick, he's back on the field the next set of downs, ready to go. And we saw like he was actually completing passes, doing what he needed to do to keep his head on straight. And it was, I just feel confidence with this team now that when things aren't going right, we're not going to let it just completely slip away. We're going to claw, we're going to dig, we're going to stay in it. So it's great, you guys. It's great.
Well, and so then to your point, Jeffrey, the second half could not have started worse. Maryland puts together a 10-play, 75-yard scoring drive that took 5 minutes off the clock to start the half. And suddenly it's 24-24. And then what was frustrating about the pick six is we were moving the ball.
Yeah.
6-yard run, 6-yard Emmett run, 11-yard pass for a first down. Then we had a 5-yard false start penalty, but then 1-yard pass, 8-yard run, 9-yard pass on 3rd and 6 to get another first down. We got 2 first downs, then completion to Keelan Smith for 3 yards to get to the Maryland 42. Awesome, cool to see Keelan Smith out there, by the way.
Yes.
And then the pick six, I did not see after the game. I don't know if you guys saw, if anybody said if a receiver turned the wrong way or what. There's always more to the story, but it looked really bad.
It did. Who is he? Owens, who is he throwing to there?
He was throwing to Mills, so a true freshman.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's why you can't help but wonder something like that.
They were suggesting
TJ,
on the broadcast that he ran and didn't run the wrong route, but he just turned maybe earlier than he was supposed to. They were trying to make it seem like the receiver might have not been in the right spot because Dylan released the ball at a certain point.
Yeah,
and it didn't seem like he was running the 100% correct route, but that's just what they thought. I have no idea whether or not that's true.
And I like us working those young guys in on a road conference game, work them in there, give them some important playing time. Mm-hmm. But in that situation, you can't help but wonder if a true freshman might maybe shouldn't have turned as far into the right or should have gone to the left. And
regardless,
regardless, we can't have those.
No, that was
a crucial moment too.
Yeah, 100% crucial moment. Brutal.
So they were down 31-24, and suddenly it's real, right? Like even
things just got real.
Yeah. And then both teams trade punts, and then we're into the fourth quarter, right? And it's like, okay, we have no more time to mess around. I want to call this out again. Nebraska's. So we're down 31-24. We go down and kick a field goal to make it 31-27. That drive was an 83-yard drive.
Yep.
And then the go-ahead drive where to win the game was an 81-yard drive.
Woo.
Again,
Macho.
celebrate all the W's. A win within the win here was 2 back-to-back more than 80-yard drives when we absolutely had to have it.
Yep.
Both involved incredible game-changing plays from multiple guys. So the second to last drive, obviously we're not counting when we kneeled it at the end. So the second to last drive, we had 2 holding penalties. 2 holding penalties. Those are often drive killers in and of themselves. I was texting you guys because I came home and rewatched the second half last night after the kids were in bed.
Because you didn't watch it live. Go on. Yeah, go ahead.
Because I was listening on the radio, Jeff. This was the Emmett Johnson drive. Okay. So I'm trying to look at how long that screenplay was because it was before, or was that this? No, that wasn't on the. Yeah, it wasn't the amazing catch on the screen pass and the 50-yard run both on the same drive. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? There it is. Pass complete to Emmett Johnson for 10 yards. It was 2nd and 14 at the Nebraska 15.
Oh, yeah.
He caught it. He looked like he was dead to rights. He made like 3 guys miss on the way to
incredible.
get it. Yeah. And so suddenly it was 3rd and manageable. And then Dylan, we get a first down on a pass to Dane Key. The huge one there, though, well, there were so many huge ones. That 16-yard pass to Dane Key was on 2nd and 16 after the second holding penalty. Was a great catch by Key, another first down. And then 2 plays later, Emmett ripped off a 50-yard run to get to first and goal at the Maryland 10-yard line.
Yep.
And again, Emmett was so much like a mirror last night. He put the team on his back. He carried the team. It was outstanding.
Can I nitpick again?
I know what you're going to say, and I'm going to say go for it.
You bastard.
Well, Emmett gets that 50-yard run, and that gets us down to the 10-yard line.
First and goal at the
10.
So
this is where this is hell. This is hell for me. We're first and goal from the 10, from just inside the 10.
Yes.
And what do? Fade route to Key.
Yeah, gotta hate.
So guess what you're at?
And the fade route hasn't worked once this year in the red zone.
I hate fade route.
Second goal from the 10, we go incomplete pass.
Yep.
Now you're 3rd and goal from the 10 freaking yard line.
And hold on, let's set the stage here. We're down 7. The hour is getting
down
late.
7.
Yeah. Really needed to ideally tie it here. Yeah.
And then Dylan runs for 6 yards and it's 4th down. And it looked for a second like, oh God, are we going to go for it?
Yeah. I think they wanted to. I don't think they took that delay of game. We only kicked it because they took a delay of game. I don't think they did that on purpose.
Yeah. That's when I stood up and I don't remember what I said. I think I blacked out. My son, who was freaking out more than me, said, "Dad, calm down." Because I was starting to lose it.
Was there a hat throw in there?
It was mostly, there was no hat throw.
Okay.
But it was a quick stand up, and I'm going to leave the room before I regret something, because I cannot stand and this is like the 3rd or 4th time we've had first and goal from like the 9.5 yard line or like just inside the 10.
Yeah.
Run the damn ball in that situation. Get it to the 7 or the 6 is even better. Then you're 2nd and goal from the 6 or 7 yard line. I hate that throw. That throw specifically, that like fade route to the corner of the end zone. It almost seems to almost never work.
It doesn't.
And you're hoping on you're hoping to get a PI, or you're hoping to basically steal a touchdown, is how I think OCs
the risk
view that.
Reward there is just, I don't get it to me. Like, it's just you have to put the ball in such a tight spot. I don't understand why people even call it.
So it ends up, then we're still down 4.
We're still down 4. I will say Damon on the radio broadcast said, "This is okay. We're playing to win the game. So we need this 3 will matter. Because next time we'll go down and score." He was saying something like that, and he was totally prescient on that.
And Severe tweeted something like that too. He's like, "Take the field goal here because you're gonna get the ball back and go for the."
That's why even before the delay of game, I'm listening on the radio. It's 4th and goal from the 4, and I'm thinking to myself, this is not a guarantee at all. Take the points now, and then we'll go win it. So I'm glad they did that. I'm totally with you though, Matteo. And again, there have been other games where we haven't been running the ball well, and I understand at least why they're throwing it up in that situation. Yeah. We ran the ball consistently. We did not have trouble running the ball. I wish they had run the ball.
Yeah, and I get it. You're running your stud running back. We just ran 50 yards, and he's probably a little winded. But like, I don't know. Like maybe bring in one of the other guys to just run one real quick unless you're not confident in him. But it's just like, I don't get that. I don't get that call at all.
No,
Yeah.
agreed. And I want to call it real quick, the Maryland drive before that, when we were still down 31-24, huge play by Dasan McCullough, because Maryland got to Nebraska's 31-yard line right at the end of the third quarter. And then McCullough had a huge tackle for 4-yard loss. So they're back at our 35-yard line. And then it was 4th and 6. That was another one where I think Maryland was actually wanting to go for it. And they took a delay of game penalty. I don't think that was intentional. On both the radio broadcast and the TV broadcast, they were like, well, were they just doing that to give the punter more room? But the guys on TV said the way Loxley reacted, it looked like they wanted to go for it. It's sort of nuts to me at the 35-yard line. I guess that's a 52-yard field goal, so not a gimme. But the McCullough play is critical, because then it's less than a 50-yard field goal even if you give up no yards.
Yeah.
So getting the ball, like forcing that stop, was huge. So then we go on our field goal drive, and then we force a punt again. Blackshirts bow up. We force a punt. We get the ball back with under 4 minutes to go, and this drive too was incredible. You had the Dylan pass to Lindenmeyer, where he eluded the pressure, then kind of threw across his body,
the other side of the field.
Then Emmett had a 5-yard run. Then Dylan like trips over his own feet and still
fell down.
Lofts it up to Hunter for 33 yards. When he did that, and we got to the Maryland 20, I thought, okay, I think we might win this game.
Had he stayed on his feet, I think Hunter probably would have caught that and scored there if he would have zip on his pass.
He probably does. But then you're like, okay, then we score too quickly.
Yeah,
so it's kind of like, okay.
Right. Yeah. So then Emmett run for 4 yards to the Maryland 16. And then that incredible throw by Dylan, that if it's like, I think it was talking about this throw. Rule said if it was 6 inches in another direction, it probably gets picked. A perfect throw to Heinrich Harburg, and an incredible catch by William Wallace. Great. We're great supporters of Heinrich Harburg on this program.
Yes.
For 13 yards down to the Maryland 3. If I'm going to nitpick again, Matteo.
Yes, this is what I know what you're going to say, TJ. I know what you're going to say. We just
first and goal
from
the
end zone.
3. First and goal from the 3. There's 1 minute and 8 left. Okay. Yeah. Why you would throw the ball here?
Yes, that's exactly right. That is,
in my opinion, you're going to run it 4 times, and I actually, in your mind, you're hoping you don't, because we had timeouts left too. Yeah. So we're, in your mind, let's take 30, 45, 50 seconds off the clock and give them no time by the time we punch it in.
Yeah. Yep.
And so we throw an incompletion to Luke Lindenmeyer. That's right. Yeah, to Luke Lindenmeyer, which was a little like it wasn't. I don't think it was close to getting picked, but it was a little like.
Yeah.
And then the second one was I saw a good pass by Dylan and a great one-handed catch by Dane Key for the go-ahead score. But I'm just thinking to myself, what are we doing here?
Yeah, I thought the same thing. Like, I'll take it. Obviously, the outcome turned out fine, but good Lord, man! Like, to your point, like we have timeouts. We're that close to the end zone. Our running back's been a stud the entire game. I guess I don't know what goes on behind the scenes when they're communicating on the sideline about coaching. It's dumbfounding to me about some of those things. Again, happy with the outcome.
Yeah, and we'll take the win. And look, again, this offense is clearly better under Dana Holgorsen. I just think like at certain points, Rule needs to step in and reel back the riverboat gambler tendencies that we generally love. We love them.
Right.
Easy, coach. Easy,
but like there's certain points when you need to say, okay, we need to run the ball here.
Yeah.
We just need to run the ball here. I mean, I would have loved nothing more than for Emmett to have gotten stuffed on 1st and goal. And then look, if you get to 3rd and goal and there's 15 seconds left, or 20 seconds left, then you call timeout and you say we have 2 plays. And if you need to throw one of them, fine. Like you need to get more creative, fine. Run those first couple and see what happens. I think.
Yeah.
All right. And then we talked about, we got the stop. We held Maryland at midfield, closed out the game. Great win for the Huskers.
Can I just say too that real quick, TJ, we played good. We stayed in that game. We didn't, buckle under the pressure and give up, but you can't at least acknowledge we got freaking lucky too. I don't know if was it that last drive, Maryland's last drive, where they either had a tight end or a wide receiver to the left side.
Oh,
of the screen that was freaking.
It was on the intentional grounding.
On the grounding.
He probably would have scored.
There was nobody to stop him. Nobody.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hey, we'll take it, Jeffrey.
Damn
Yeah,
right
we will.
Yeah.
You know what? You know how many teams have gotten lucky against us over the last 10 years?
Mhm.
Too many.
Yeah,
Too
exactly
many.
right.
Exactly.
Our turn.
All right, we're recording this early on a Sunday morning, and I know Mattio's got to go start his day and coach some youth tackle football. Real quick, guys.
You know, I'm just one of the parents on the side.
Oh, chain gang. Chain gang.
Chain gang.
Real quick, guys. Reasons for optimism, reasons for concern.
Go ahead, Owens. Let me think.
Reasons for optimism. I think it's clear. We have been a damaged program.
Yeah.
And the reason for optimism is that I feel like we kind of got a monkey off our backs a little bit, getting a road conference win.
Yeah.
You know, back-to-back weeks, had some adversity that we fought through and just kept playing. And we've got dudes making plays. Like, we've for a while now we've said, God, we just need some guys to make a big play in a big moment.
Right.
And we've got multiple guys doing that.
And I think we should acknowledge, like, we were frustrated with Dylan during the game. He was one of those guys making multiple big plays on the last two drives, right?
Yep. Yes.
Right.
You know, and it's the manic, crazy Husker fan in us that's like, oh, he throws the pick six. It's like, let's see the other guy, you know, but
Exactly.
I don't know that the other guy, you know, has the moxie to lead us down the field.
Well, and maybe he does, but you don't put a true freshman into that situation.
You don't.
Yeah.
Who hasn't played all game.
Right. Reasons for concern. There's nothing really that jumps out. I mean, you look at why this game was close. It was the picks.
Yeah.
Maryland had way more costly penalties than we did, and that one didn't hurt us.
Yeah.
You know, special teams were pretty solid. Defense was pretty solid. It was just the picks.
Yep.
You know, and they still went out and got the win. The defense bowed up and got some stops when we needed them to. Reasons for concern, I guess, don't throw interceptions. Like, obvious, clear.
That's the only concern. That's the only concern I would have too. Optimism wise, our offensive line looked better. Like, we're allowed to run the ball at will, and you can't do that unless they're opening up holes for Emmett to run through. And then I think they only allowed one sack on Dylan, which is refreshing. So that's been a number one concern for us in weeks past is can they protect them and give him more time, and they did. So
and that's what Maryland's supposedly good at.
Yeah. So exactly. Yeah. So that was good to see. So that's a point of optimism for me.
Yeah, for sure. I don't have a ton in the way of concern. I mean, obviously this team is not perfect, but man, Mattio, you said it to our bigger group last night on text, and we've said it before. It's survive and advance in college football.
Yeah.
Penn State is 3-3.
They're done for the they're done. They're not. They are eliminated from the playoffs.
Like, unless you're Ohio State or Georgia, or I don't even know that SEC is mid. But unless you're Ohio State or one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the country, it's a massive middle out there, guys.
It is. It's crazy.
And I think Maryland will probably end up going to a bowl game. Michigan's a good team. Michigan State, we'll see. They just lost to UCLA, so I thought that maybe they were a little better.
Dude, that team's crazy. All of a sudden.
UCLA, I don't know. Suddenly they look like
Jerry Neuheisel.
Yeah. So you got to celebrate all the W's. I think Maryland on the road, especially teams figuring out. I know we said that we're 5-1, and we said this last year. We talked last year about they only beat Rutgers 14-7. They're learning how to win. This is what it looks like. We're kind of saying some of the same things this year. I just expect the ceiling is much higher for this team. We'll see.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what the next 6 games bring. Real quick, Mattio, if you have like 3 more minutes, it's so fascinating. I'm looking. So Indiana obviously beat Oregon yesterday. That was kind of big news in the conference, right? And then the other one I would say is Penn State losing to Northwestern. I mean, for their third consecutive loss.
Those back-to-back
and Drew Aller's out for the year.
Damning losses.
Oh, I didn't
for Penn State.
Yeah.
I mean, damning loss. 0-3 in the conference. So here's a little thought exercise, guys. Let's say Ohio State's the cream of the crop, or maybe Indiana. Like Ohio State, Indiana, they're both 3-0 in the conference. I'd love to know. I don't want to rank out. I want to go like top 6, and if you think Nebraska fits in there, let me just lay this out for you guys. Indiana and Ohio State are both 3-0. Oregon's now 2-1. I don't think you'd have a ton of argument from a lot of people saying that those are the top 3 teams in the conference.
Yeah.
You then have USC is 3-1, and they just beat Michigan. So that's pretty handily. I mean, I didn't see any highlights from that game, but pretty decisive score it looked like. And then you have, of the teams I have not mentioned, Nebraska, Washington, Iowa, Michigan, Minnesota, Northwestern, and UCLA are all 2-1. Everybody else after that has more than one loss in the conference. So after what I'm asking you guys, after Ohio State, Indiana, and Oregon, how would you rank the next 3 in the conference, and is Nebraska in that group?
I think I still Michigan to me gets the nod above us because they head to head.
Yeah.
USC, I think USC looked pretty good last night against Michigan.
Yeah, but then Mario,
maybe I don't know, six-ish.
I agree with Matt on that one. Yeah.
I don't really know where to put Illinois. Like, they lost.
Oh, that's a good point too. That's a good point too.
But Illinois got absolutely boat raced by Indiana.
Yeah.
But Indiana's pretty
Oregon. Good. Obviously, they're good.
But Illinois is sitting there with 2 losses, but they're still, I don't know. I think we're just ahead of them just based on, hey, they have 2 losses in conference and we have 1.
Yep. And the other thing I don't know, we'll face Minnesota next week. They don't look like world beaters this year. I don't know. I really don't know what to think about Washington. They're 2-1. It's just hard to know. And then Iowa's 2-1, and we'll settle that one on the field too. But I think Nebraska's like, if we keep going like this, we're gonna, like, whether it's 6 or 7 or 8, and maybe by the end of the year it'll be up closer to 4, 5, or 6. But we're emerging, hopefully, from that big middle of the conference in the Big Ten, of where we were always kind of like 9th or 10th, or I mean, even when the conference was smaller, we were like really mid or low or lower middle. I think we're kind of emerging, not in the like that next year after the cream of the crop, that next year after the upper crust.
Yeah.
So you make an argument we're getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's what isn't that really all we're asking for? If we can be in the top third of an 18-team conference,
we're
with a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
In the conversation. In the damn conversation.
Right.
Yeah. And there's going to be years, if you can maintain that, and that means 8 to 10 wins a year. And if you can maintain that, there's going to be years where everything goes right.
Yeah.
And you're in the top 2 or 3, and you're going to the playoff and that kind of thing. That's the goal, to get there consistently, right?
The pack's separating a little bit.
That's
you
right.
Look at the Big Ten standings, like, okay, we can beat them, we can beat them, we can beat them, we can beat them. Those guys, I don't know, but it's still it's like the pack is separating a little bit in the Big Ten.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. And Minnesota only beat Purdue 27-20. I didn't see any highlights from that game.
They were losing a good chunk of that game. They were losing at half. I know that, and then still down well into the third, but they made a couple plays and.
Again, it's PJ, it's at Minnesota. I think all bets are off, but I would love to believe that they've taken a step back this year and that we're going to go.
I said it last night. PJ Fleck week started last night, the second that game, the second the clock hit 0.
I love that. All right, Common fans, exhale, breathe. I've seen, we talked about this, multiple sources. I think Tom Chattel did it. I think another fan podcast did it. I heard Barstool did it. I didn't see it. They're calling them the cardiac Cornhuskers.
Yep.
Good Lord, yeah.
Cardiac Cornhuskers, baby.
Cardiac Cornhuskers, but we're coming out on the right side. The cardiac Cornhuskers are.
That's right.
5-1. I think the main thing, like, they're 5-1, just like they were last year. Where do we go from here?
Yeah.
I think
now we got to see it.
We got at Minnesota, then Northwestern. Huge opportunity to go into USC. I mean, I think 6-2 at worst, 7-1, and I mean, we're in the top 25, and we're dancing.
Well, after the Irish take care of USC next week, they're going to come to Lincoln with their spirits broken.
There it is, Jeff.
Broken. So, yeah.
I'm really pulling for USC in that one. And if they follow up the win over Michigan with a win over Notre Dame, they're probably in the top 15 coming into Lincoln.
Yeah,
that's not going to happen though.
It might be.
It's not going to happen.
We can only hope. All right, Common fans, celebrate all the W's. Huskers win 34-31. Have a great week, Common fans. It's a short week. We get college football. We get the Husker football on a Friday this week. Friend of the program, Tim Brando, is doing that game again.
Woo!
And hey, Common fans, be kind to each other this week. Be kind to everyone except for PJ Fleck this week.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Just
exactly
kidding.
right.
All right. Be kind to each other, Common fans. We'll be back at you soon. In the meantime, as always, GBR for life.
Holy moly! Man, woman, and child did that. Put them in the aisles.
And Nebraska takes the lead.